Counting on Jill Duggar shares relationship update with parents. Counting on alum Jill Duggar Dillard is known as the rebellious daughter of Jim Bob and Michelle. She's been estranged from her parents for years, and things got worse between them when she released a book about her challenging past. However, Jill recently took to social media to share shocking updates regarding her relationships with Jim Bob and Michelle. Keep reading to see her statements. Counting on. Jill Duggar shares how Jim Bob reacted to her book. Jill has made some shocking revelations about her father, Jim Bob, in her memoir, Counting the Cost. Some of them were about how she was mistreated by her parents. Jill also exposed Jim Bob's manipulations on the TV show, adding that he lied to the IRS about their TV show's earnings. The Counting on alum also shared some of the most disturbing practices of the IBLP in her book. But even before the release of her book, Jill claimed that Jim Bob allegedly threatened his kids that they would get cut off from inheritance if they tried to speak against him or their mother. Jill shares relationship update with parents. Jill Duggar Dillard recently took to IG stories to answer several fan questions. One of them was about her current status with Jim Bob and Michelle. According to the former Counting on star, it's still complicated, but she feels like they are in a rebuilding process with healthy boundaries. Jill added that they try to hang out whenever it works well and have the bandwidth to navigate things. Derek's wife even shared a photo with her mother, Michelle. But she still couldn't share a photo with her dad due to their awkward situation. Counting on. Jill Duggar has been close to her siblings. Despite her complicated status with Jim Bob and Michelle, Jill assures everyone that she's still close with her siblings. The Counting on alum attended Jana and Jason's respective weddings this year. She also likes to share clips and pictures whenever she's hanging out with some of her siblings. Jill Duggar Dillard also suffered a heartbreaking miscarriage last April. The majority of the family, including Jim Bob and Michelle, came to the funeral of her stillborn daughter, Isla Marie. Many fans also hoped it created a bridge for Jill to finally reconcile with her parents. For years, Counting on fans have watched the rift between Jill Duggar and her famous family unfold with a mixture of heartbreak and hope. Once one of the most recognizable faces of the Duggar clan, Jill has since taken major steps to distance herself from the values, pressures, and controlling structures that defined her early life on reality TV. But now, in a rare and heartfelt update, Jill is sharing a surprising development, a tentative thaw in her relationship with parents Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. The revelation comes via a candid Instagram post that feels more like a journal entry than a press release. Accompanied by a quiet photo of Jill sipping coffee on a sunlit porch, the caption dives into the emotional terrain fans have speculated about for years: forgiveness, growth, and the slow, painful journey of reconciliation. It's been a long road. Jill began her update with honesty. It's been a long road. Not always straight. Definitely not smooth. But lately, it feels like we're finally seeing some signs of spring after a very long winter. The metaphor is apt. Since stepping away from Counting on and making it clear that she and husband Derek Dillard were no longer under the thumb of the Duggar empire, Jill has weathered criticism, isolation, and family estrangement. From openly discussing how boundaries were often crossed by her parents, to confirming she didn't receive fair pay for her time on reality TV, Jill hasn't held back from telling her truth, even when that truth caused public friction with Jim Bob and Michelle. But in this new post, Jill struck a softer tone, one that hinted not at a full reconciliation, but at a cautious hope. Coffee talks and quiet texts. Jill revealed that after years of barely speaking, she and her parents have recently started communicating more frequently and more meaningfully. It started small, she wrote. A text from my mom on my birthday. A photo of the kids sent back. Then a phone call that didn't end in tears or tension. We're not all the way there, and we might never be, but something has shifted. According to Jill, one of the most healing things hasn't been a grand apology or a dramatic heart-to-heart, but rather the simplicity of being heard and respected as an adult. For the first time in a long time, I feel like they're starting to see me for who I am now. Not just the daughter they raised, not just the good girl from TV, but a woman, a mother, a person with her own voice. He shared that she and Michelle have had a few quiet coffee talks, short but sincere visits where the two connected over shared memories and the challenges of motherhood. avoiding the usual minefields of religion, control, or past pain. What sparked the change? Jill didn't pin the shift on one particular event, but she did mention that the birth of her third child, Frederick, may have served as a gentle catalyst. "There's something about holding a baby that makes you think about legacy, about grace," she wrote. "When we welcomed Freddie, it felt like a moment to either build more walls or open a small door. I'm grateful that we chose the door." Fans may recall that Jill's decision to publicly speak out against the family's handling of scandals, including brother Josh Duggar's crimes and the fallout of the show, created a rift that many believed was unrepairable. Yet her tone in the post suggests that, while full trust may take time or never fully return, peace is a worthy pursuit. Derek's role: supportive, protective, present. It's impossible to talk about Jill's journey without mentioning her husband, Derek Dillard. The former missionary and law school graduate has been Jill's rock through much of her transition away from Duggar expectations. In her post, Jill made a point to praise Derek's balance of support and respect for her autonomy. "He's never pushed me to forgive before I was ready. He's never tried to fix what only time and God can mend. But he's been there for every text, every talk, every tear," Jill wrote. "And sometimes that's all you really need, someone who sits beside you, not behind or ahead." Their marriage, once questioned by fans and even discouraged by parts of the Duggar inner circle, now stands as a model of partnership built on mutual respect and shared values, many of which differ from the ones Jill was raised with. Boundaries are still in place. While fans were quick to react with hope and curiosity, Jill was clear about one thing: she's still guarding her mental health and family space. Reconnecting doesn't mean going back. It doesn't mean forgetting. It means finding a new path, one that's healthy, respectful, and mutual, she clarified. She admitted that boundaries, a word rarely uttered in the Duggar household growing up, are still essential to her peace. "I can love my parents and still say no to things that hurt me," Jill wrote. "I can enjoy a visit and still decline a public reunion on camera. I can forgive and still protect my heart." Fans who have followed Jill's emotional evolution praised her for continuing to model both grace and strength, especially in a family culture that historically valued silence over self-advocacy. How her siblings are reacting. Jill didn't name names, but she hinted that some of her siblings have taken notice of the thaw between her and their parents. "I've had a few siblings reach out, curious, cautious, but hopeful too. I think a lot of us have been navigating similar feelings, some just more quietly than others." While Jill didn't confirm which siblings are involved in these subtle reunions, fans suspect that Jessa, Joy, Anna, and Jinger may be among those walking their own versions of this difficult path. Each has, in recent years, distanced themselves in varying degrees from the family's ultra-conservative beliefs and structures. No fairy tale ending, but maybe a new chapter. The most powerful part of Jill's update may have been her final lines, which made it clear that this story is not about tidy.